Hey brother, I know we're going to catch up shortly, but I just thought I'd do a short video just to answer your question around, shifting your mindset or taking action, and sort of which comes first, which is the more important potentially. So for me, look, it's such a good question. I actually want to do a bigger video on this and sort of post it out. So I'd love your feedback on just these ideas. But it's sort of like a chicken and an egg discussion for me. Because they sort of, neither is in isolation of the other, I guess. So what I don't think is necessary is for you to shift your mindset fundamentally from the get-go. In fact, I would wonder if you could actually do that. If you could, well then potentially, you don't need to do any action because you can just shift your mindset. So I think of it as like walking up a really big hill, right? So I don't know if you've ever done a really big walk out, tramping and gone in the mountains or whatever. And now you're standing at the bottom of this massive hill, right? And you look up and you just see this massive journey in front of you. And you're like, shit, this is going to be long, it's going to be hard, it's going to be painful. And every so often as you do this journey, like you're walking up, and if you're in the bush, like you'll come to an area where you can see out over the trees and you can see how far you come. And you'll get these glimpses of progress. And you'll be like, fuck, yeah, I've come like a third of the way up, I'm halfway up, I'm 2/3 up, and then finally you reach the top. And it's those little glimpses that keep you going, right? So, it's those little moments of success amongst all the pain, all the suffering, all the effort that, like, inspire you to keep going. And so that's, to me, that's sort of like reminiscent of the action part of this. You're taking those actions, and you're pushing through the pain, and every now and again you'll see something, you'll get a result, you'll feel a certain feeling that tells you that you're on the right path. But in order to start the journey, my belief is that the mindset you've got to be is that change is possible. Not only is it possible, but that you want to change. That's it. For me, that's probably the level of mindset I think is necessary for a human being to grow. Is that change is possible, that you can rewire your neural pathways to support the sort of lifestyle you want, and that you're willing to try. So I don't think you need to fundamentally shift that up. If you're at that stage and you're willing to be open to the idea that change is possible and that you want to change, I think that's enough. Now, it's obviously still going to be hard work, and getting started is the hardest fucking part, right? And I've talked a little bit in that video you sent me around Jordan Peterson. For me, like, if you go out mountains tramping, right, you don't start with Mount Everest. You start, close to home. You start with little easier walks first. You build up your stamina. You build up your ability to conquer these mountains in front of you. If you just go straight out and try and climb Mount Everest, you're probably going to fucking die, right? So the idea, I think, in Jordan Peterson's video, I really like the idea, is start with those actions that are closest to you. Tidying your room, sorting your time management out. For you, turning up to your uni papers, graduating uni, all those things that are much closer to home. Start with the intrinsic, internal things that you can control around you in your own world. And I think if you did that, that would begin to give you this stamina, the ability to then conquer bigger hills, bigger mountains, such as relationships, such as, financial independence through running your own business. All the other things that seem so massive, that seem so overwhelming now, they become easier. No less painful, but your stamina, your internal reservoir, your internal fortitude to be able to conquer those mountains becomes so much greater, because you've already conquered mountains. You've already conquered smaller hills. And so it's just more of the same. It's just bigger, So that's the way I would explain it. It's a really simple concept. We can talk more about it when we catch up shortly, but I just wanted to put my thoughts to you around your question, because I think it's such an interesting question. As I say, I'm going to do a longer video, and so maybe you can give me some ideas or some feedback on the themes in this one. It would be really good. Alright bro, talk to you soon.